Hey guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Timeline Show. This is actually, in fact, the fifth installment in that series. And as I said at the end of the previous episode, it's now time to look through the Chronicles of Narnia timeline. So let's get that show on the road. Now, before we begin, I'm going to add a couple of extra dates to this timeline. One that is confirmed through the books, and one that is a complete guess from me. So, starting with 1860 and the birth of Andrew Ketterley. And how do I arrive at that date? Well, his age is given as being 60 on another timeline I've looked at. So, and then my guess for Mrs. Kirk's birth, that would be Diggory's mother, would have to be around 1850 or 1860. But now we get into the dates we actually do know of from the timeline. So starting with 1888 and the birth of Diggory Kirk. 1889, the birth of Polly Plummer. The year 1 of the Narnian timeline. Yep, the creation of Narnia. The beast made able to talk. Diggory plants the tree of protection. The White Witch Jadis enters Narnia but flees into the far north. Frank I becomes king of Narnia. Earth year 1900. Polly and Diggory carried into Narnia by magic rings. So that is the events of the magician's nephew. Just keep those in mind. Nothing notable happened for another 180 years in Narnian time. By the year 180 in Narnia, Prince Cole, younger son of Frank V, leads certain followers into Archenland, not then inhabited, and becomes the first king of that country. 204 Narnian time. Certain outlaws from Archenland fly across the southern desert and set up the new kingdom of Calormen. At the same time on Earth, in 1927, Peter Pevensey is born, and in 1928, Susan Pevensey is born. In the year 300 NT, the Empire of Calormen spreads mightily. Calormenes colonized the land of Telmar to the west of Narnia. And Earth year 1930, Edmund Pevensey is born. Earth year 1932, Lucy Pevensey is born. So you're following so far? Some extra dates will now be added before we carry on. But I'm going to guess Mrs. Pevensey would have been born somewhere around the year 1890 to 1900. Okay. That's just guesswork. Anyway, back to the timeline. 2 years later in Narnian time, in the year 302, The Calamines in Talmar behave very wickedly, and Aslan turns them into dumb beasts. The country lies waste. King Gale of Narnia delivers the Lone Islands from a dragon and is made emperor by their grateful inhabitants. In Earth year 1933, Eustace Clarence Scrubb and Jill Pole are born. In Narnian year 407, Olvin of Archenland kills the giant pyre. Nothing happens on Earth in parallel to that. Narnian year 460, pirates from our world take possession of Talmar. No parallel dates, no parallel Earth dates are mentioned, but I think we can basically determine when they first came through to Narnia from our Earth times when actual pirates existed, probably around the 1600s. Somewhere around that time. Yeah, so it's gonna be a bit of a whoopsie there because we're already too far into the Earth timeline. Okay. So, 110 years later, Narnian year 570, this is about the time Moonwood the Hare lived. No parallel events happened on Earth at that point. 898 NT, the White Witch Jadis returns to Narnia from out of the far north. Nothing happened parallel to that on Earth at any time. $900, and that's 900 NT. The long winter begins. Okay, Earth year 1940. The Pevensies, staying with Diggory Kirk, he's now Professor Kirk, reach Narnia through the magic wardrobe. Okay, yes, the year 1000 NT. The Pevensies arrive in Narnia. The treachery of Edmund. The sacrifice of Aslan. The White Witch defeated. And the long winter ended. Peter becomes High King of Narnia. And these events are those of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So, yep, there you go. $1014 NT. King Peter carries out a successful raid on the Northern Giants. Queen Susan and King Edmund visit the court of Calormen. King Looney of Archenland discovers his long-lost son Prince Cor and defeats the treacherous attack by Prince Rabadash of Calormen. Now, these events are those of The Horse and His Boy, which take place in between the Pevensies' reign at the end of The Lion, the Witch, and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and the end of that book. Because in Narnian year 1015, just 1 year later, the Pevensies hunt the White Stag and vanish out of Narnia. 1050 NT, Ram the Great succeeds Cor as King of Archenland. 1502. About this time lived Queen Swanwhite of Narnia. 1998 NT, that is, The Telmarines invade and conquer Narnia. Caspian I becomes king of Narnia. 2290 NT, Prince Caspian, son of Caspian IX, born. Caspian IX murdered by his brother Miraz, who usurps the throne. Okay, now, some more parallel events are coming up. 1941 AD, this is in Earth time, the Pevensies again caught into Narnia by the blast of the magic horn. 'Narnian year 2303. Prince Caspian escapes from his uncle Miraz, civil war in Narnia, by the aid of Aslan and of the Pevensies, whom Caspian summons with Queen Susan's magic horn. Miraz is defeated and killed. Caspian becomes King Caspian X of Narnia. Those are the events of Prince Caspian. So, yep, there you go. Narnian year 2304, Caspian X defeats the Northern Giants. Earth year 1942. Edmund, Lucy and Eustace reach Narnia again and take part in Caspian's voyage. Again for Edmund and Lucy, but first time for Eustace. Narnian years 2306 to 2307. Caspian X's great voyage to the end of the world. 2310. Caspian X marries Ramadu's daughter. Those would be the events, by the way, of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I should have mentioned that. 2325. Prince Rilian is born. 2345. The Queen is killed by a serpent. Rilian disappears. Earth year 1942. Eustace and Jill from Experiment House are carried away into Narnia. Narnian year 2356. Eustace and Jill appear in Narnia and rescue Prince Rilian, death of Caspian X. The events are those of the Silver Chair. Okay, so... Narnian year 2534. Outbreak of outlaws in Lantern Waste. Towers built to guard that region. And finally, Narnian year 2555. Rebellion of Shift the Ape. King Tyrion rescued by Eustace and Jill. Narnia in the hands of the Calormans or the Calamines. The last battle, end of Narnia, end of the world. Parallel to that, in Earth year 1949, the serious accident on British railways. And there you have it, guys. The entire timeline of the Chronicles of Narnia. Okay. And I hope you found that insightful. Now, guys, the next timeline I'm going to cover is going to be a timeline of one of my own creative worlds. As for which one it's going to be, well, You'll have to wait and see. But until then, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have us a magical time.